Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Coffee with Craig. I hope you guys have your nice hot cup of Joe and are ready to begin the conversation. But actually, before we get started, I want to make sure to invite you guys, check out our friends at EQ Apparel. They have some really cool t-shirts, one of which I happen to be wearing. In case you cannot see it, that is the state of California with a number of firearms and whatnot on it. It's a very cool t-shirt, nice quality, but check them out. You can find them at eqfreedom.com. That's eqfreedom.com. Please check them out and tell them Craig at the Firearms Policy Coalition told you to visit. So, what are we going to talk about today? Today, we're going to talk about, something that's been in the news quite a bit lately, and that is the issue of bump stocks. The state of Massachusetts has actually instituted the first ever bump stock ban, and it's now effectively in place. And, let's just say that the response to their ban has, it's been a bit underwhelming.
Massachusetts became the first state in the country to ban bump stock devices for guns like the one used in the Las Vegas shootings. While those devices are now illegal, just a few owners actually turned theirs over to police. WBZ's Christina Hager has the story.
Taking the inertia of every round that comes back and as fast as it can load another round and keep shooting.
You're looking at a banned item as of this week.
To my knowledge, this is the only one that has been turned in to date.
While this bump stock device was just turned into Essex Police, state police received 3 bump stocks and 1 trigger crank before the ban on them officially took hold, making Massachusetts the first state to make them illegal since a gunman used one to turn a semi-automatic into an automatic weapon, unleashing hundreds of rounds into a crowd in Las Vegas. John Rosenthal, who heads up the group Stop Handgun Violence, lobbied for the ban.
There's no question in my mind that people won't turn them in. I would suspect that a lot of legal gun owners are going to buck the law.
Essex Police Chief Peter Silva says the man who surrendered this device explained why most aren't likely to let go.
He was a little frustrated because of the fact that he had spent approximately $250 for this piece here, and there was no redeeming value on the other side for him to recover that money.
These are devices designed to kill a lot of people quickly, and I'm not so sure that we ought to be compensating people for giving up these devices that never should have been purchased in the first place.
All licensed gun owners in Massachusetts got letters explaining these devices had to be surrendered by Thursday or they could face prosecution. And this new law carries some stiff penalties, 18 months to life behind bars for those found guilty. Christina Hager, WBZ News.
All right, so here we have this guy, Mr. John Rosenthal, who doesn't believe that individuals who legally purchase property ought to be compensated when that property is then summarily seized by the government, banned and seized by the government. I wish I could say that I was surprised, but look, here's the thing, folks. The fact that only 3 people turn them in tells you one of 2 things. It either tells you that, well, bump stocks just really aren't that popular or as popular as or as commonly owned as people think they are, or that people have just decided that, no, we are not going to comply with a stupid law. And when I say a stupid law, I mean that the people who are going to go and commit crimes with these things, guess what? They're not going to give them up. They're not going to get rid of these accessories, period. They're not. And that's what happens with each and every one of these laws. Each and every one of these bans, it's just going to be the law-abiding citizen who in the end is going to wind up paying the price. And as long as they feel like they can get away with banning something, they will. And guys like this John Rosenthal, if he could ban guns, period, guess what? He would. And he would make it so that you would have to turn in every single one of your firearms and you wouldn't be compensated 1 nickel for them, no matter how much you paid for them, no matter how legal they are, no matter what constitutional rights you have to own it. He really doesn't care, and well, neither does the government in the state of Massachusetts. And I'm willing to bet that there are a number of people I won't guesstimate how many, but I'm willing to bet it's way more than 3 who own bump stocks and have pretty much decided that, that the government can go take a flying leap. And it is not just the fact that people are going to start to ignore this law, but going on and on as they continue to pass unconstitutional, really nonsensical laws that only affect law-abiding citizens. You're going to see more and more people start to ignore the law, because that's what happens when you pass laws that are, quite frankly, where you show complete and utter disregard to constitutional rights. And in this case, I'm not just talking about the right to keep and bear arms. I'm also talking about private property rights. When you demonstrate that you don't care about someone's private property rights, well, then people are going to start to say, you know what, I really don't care about your laws. If you show contempt to me and my rights, then I'm going to show contempt to your laws. And folks, that is the beginning. When people start to lose that sort of faith in their government, their institutions, when they just flat out just start to ignore the law, that's the beginning of anarchy. That's the beginning of a major problem. And that is a problem that is being brought on, obviously, by lawmakers and by individuals like this Mr. John Rosenthal. Anyway, folks, that's going to be it for today's Coffee with Craig. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. Please remember to like and share these videos so that everyone can come to know about the Firearms Policy Coalition. We are the home in the fight for civil rights. Got to use them or we're going to lose them. You guys take care. Stay free.
If you like our videos, follow, subscribe, like, and share.